Statesmen Nation. We're here with Carl Sivels, senior running back out of Washington, Iowa. Appreciate you coming in for a little bit, Carl. He knows all about this stuff. He was in my class last year, so he knows how to do both the interviewing and the being interviewed. So he's all sorts of ready. So he picked out his 16 questions here that he would like to answer later. But first off, man, let's talk football. You guys are 1-2 after that horrific start of playing those three extremely tough teams.
Yeah.
You guys weathered the storm, got a win, and you showed, definitely, especially against Baker too, number 2 team in the nation, how good you guys can be. So you can definitely see that there's a ton of potential for a really, really good season. But let's talk about your senior year and how you feel like it's going. We can talk a little leadership stuff, et cetera, but just kind of give a little nutshell.
Well, first, those first 3 games were really hard. Those are some good teams. It didn't quite come out the way we'd like to, getting out of those 3, but that's just how it goes. And this team is built for adversity. There's a lot of guys with a lot of experience. Being a senior this year, it's great. It's crazy how fast it's gone.
Right.
But I also kind of feel it in my body and stuff. It's been out for 4 years of this offense. It's pretty tough. But it's been great so far. Just having a lot of fun playing and just kind of enjoying my last season so far.
Yeah, definitely. I always ask the seniors the leadership question. How do you feel like, or what is your leadership role? How do you, go about, taking the team, and leading them in whatever direction that you want. But I mean, how do you lead this team?
Yeah, so we have not a young team. We have a nice mix of young and old guys, but people are starting to get into their roles more. Me personally, I've always been a lead by example guy. I'm not the loudest guy. We have other guys that are more vocal like that. But I'm a more lead by example. And then when I do speak up, people listen more than people. So they respond to that. But yeah, that's just kind of how I try to lead the guys, try to show them right from wrong, especially the young slots. There's a lot to learn in this offense, a lot of small things. So I just really want to help show them like the right things to do on a daily basis, the little things.
What's been the biggest thing that you've learned through your 4 years here, especially, I mean, obviously just talking football here, but that you've picked up as you've gone on? Like, man, I wish I would have known that as a freshman. I think I would have, I could have really, really grown. In 4 years, but
probably what I've learned the most is the need to work on your craft, day in and day out, no matter how old you get. Because when you're a younger kid and then you start to play more, you have a tendency to kind of start slacking off and
rest on your laurels.
Exactly, and you're playing, but. I've learned because I've played with a lot of great players in slots, and they've always told me just keep working. Like there's always stuff to get better at, no matter what. So yeah, just keep working on your craft.
Yeah, and you never know which freshman or redshirt freshman, whatever younger kid's gonna step in and say, you know what, if he's not gonna work hard, I'm gonna work harder than him. I'm gonna take his spot for sure. As the year progresses here, you guys have Central Methodist tomorrow. Good luck, by the way, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But what are the expectations as we go forward? You guys got through that 3-game stretch. It seems like we're very, very healthy, which is huge. And now we've got a stretch of teams that are, again, not taking anything away from anybody, but more beatable. Definitely could go on a run here like we did last year, winning 7 in a row, and put ourselves right back in the mix for being a high-ranked team, a team that can make the playoffs. But what are the expectations moving forward here?
So I believe the main thing we're going to work on is just cleaning up on some small things. So like against Mid-Am, we were moving the ball and doing a bunch of good things, but it just takes one bad play to kind of kill those drives, and we lost the ball a lot, couldn't finish in the red zone. And we emphasized that in practice. We worked on a lot of good things. But we just want to kind of, like last year, how we didn't have a very good start to the season. We just kind of took a step back, got our breath, and then just focused, just laser focus on 1 week to the next week, start to build that momentum. So I think that's what we're going to try to do, just lock in on Central Methodist and try to go from there.
Just take care of what you can at this time. There's no beating a Peru State, a Benedictine this week anyhow. You can't worry about them. So very cool. All right, man. Again, Carl and the guys will be playing Central Methodist tomorrow, Lacey Complex Stadium, 1 o'clock start. Can't be there. Statesmanathletics.com. There'll be all sorts of links there to make sure you can follow the game. But hopefully you can be in the stadium. Might be a warm one, but it's going to be a good one. The guys are going to show up big, and we'll go 2-2 after tomorrow. So, all right, man. Well, you got your 16 questions here. We'll get right to it. Coming from Washington, just down Highway 92, but so not very far away. But why did you choose to come to William Penn?
Well, location kind of played a pretty big part to it. I'm really close to my family, so being able to have them come to half of my home games, or all of my home games, but half of my regular season games, was huge for me. And they're my biggest support system, so that was big. And also, I had one of my coaches and my athletic director, Washington. They both went to William Penn. So when I started talking to them during the recruiting process, they were huge advocates for it, and so that played a big part too. But yeah, I visited, I loved it, heard good things about it, and it was close to home. So
there you go, very cool. All right, what's your favorite thing about the football program here?
I'd probably say the culture. No matter, I've been on some really good teams, a lot of good players, but there's always an expectation in everyone to just to win, like to be the best. There's never any, and no matter who we've played in my career, there's never been any letdown. It's always we want to win this game. We want to.
There's no settling, right?
Exactly. We just want to be the best, no matter what, no matter who we have playing for us. We want to be the best, and I've loved that.
Very cool. Always a tough question, but you marked it, so you get to answer it. Who's the one person in history you'd most like to meet?
Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. Growing up, learning about him, he was my role model growing up, and there's a lot of things that I'd like to ask him about his, just his character and his day-to-day things. But yeah, definitely Martin Luther King.
All right, describe, and this can either be your position coach, so I'm thinking through my head, your position coach right now, you guys switch around. Right. So either, your position coach or Coach Hafner, but describe them in one word.
I'd go Coach Hafner. Okay. Passionate. He really, you can tell he loves the game, but he really cares about his players and his coaching staff and our day-to-day thing. And it's really easy to go all out and give all you have for a coach that really cares about you and your guys. And
very cool.
So yeah.
Awesome. All right. What's your favorite restaurant?
Who Hot.
Okay.
Mongolian grill food.
Gotcha.
I can eat. I can just
go to town. Right?
Stuff. Yeah. So
it's funny. They were the volleyball team was down the hallway. I was talking about Who Hot earlier, so
really?
It's just funny that you brought that up.
Best.
So. All right. What's some advice you'd give a junior high or high school kid getting ready to or wanting to play at the college level?
I'd probably say it's be ready for adversity and you have to come in with a mindset of not just I can't wait to play Saturdays, because there's so much more that goes into it, and you have to be prepared for that, and you've got to want to do that because you're going to have to do that every day that you're here. So just come in with a strong mindset that you're going to have to put in work all the time, not just on Saturdays.
Yeah, nothing granted, right? You have to step up, otherwise somebody else will be playing. So, all right, when you have spare time, because obviously football and your studies are going to take a lot of your time, but when you have spare time, what are you doing?
I like to travel a lot, as much as possible. Always looking for places to go with my girlfriend. We like to go see new things and experience different places. So, very
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't mark this one, but I'm going to throw it in here. So you got 17 questions instead. But since you obviously do like to travel, I'll give a two-part question. Where's the coolest place that you visited, and where is the place that you'd most like to visit?
So the place I wanted to visit the most was France. But I want to see the south of France. But we went to more mainland France, Paris. Right. That was amazing, but I can't wait to go back there. place that I want to visit the most will probably be maybe. I've been to Italy, but it was only like a 2-day thing,
right.
and I'd love to go explore Italy, like the little towns and stuff.
Yeah, top down.
Yeah, I really liked Italy. So.
Very cool. All right, what has been your biggest challenge so far at William Penn in football? However you want to answer that.
It's not so much of a challenge now, but for the first 2 or so years of being here, of just being a student athlete, having to balance social, your sport,
right.
and then your school. It's really hard. And once you get the hang of it, it's better. It's still not easy, but when you're a freshman and it's just new to you, it was just really hard for me. But I was pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, talk about all the adversity you go through. Yeah, it's not easy.
Exactly.
If it was easy, then obviously everybody would be doing it, and you have millions and millions of college athletes. Instead, I mean, the select few are able to push through and make it happen. So. Yeah. All right, if you could go back in time, what year would you travel to, or what maybe time period?
I'd probably say the 80s. It seems like a cool period.
It was a cool period.
Yeah.
See, young guys, they don't know anything.
My mom's
like in the 90s or whatever.
My mom's always talking about the 80s, and she's a big reason why I listen to some music I do. So she used to always make me listen to her music, and I liked it, and it was from that period. So, I'd like to go see that time. Sounds
very cool.
Yeah.
So, grew up on the Poison and Def Leppard and Journey and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Hey, it's a good guy right here. Listens to the right stuff. All right, two-part. No, you didn't answer that. What's the most played song or artist, genre, however you want to answer that, on your iPod or in your car or whatever? What are you listening to, basically?
I listen to a lot of R&B and rap, but probably anytime if you ask to hear what I'm listening to, it'd probably be something Drake, anything Drake. So, yeah.
So you really do. It's all over the place. I guess I don't know what you were listening to 80s. I shouldn't say maybe they're 80s R&B or something. I guess I shouldn't say stuff over.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So either way, you got the 80s, you got the old stuff, you got the new stuff.
Exactly.
Drake. Very cool. All right. If you could learn to do anything, what would you like to learn?
I'd probably. I told you I was taking ceramics. It's really fun to learn, and it's really frustrating because you'll see some like amazing things that she'll show you, some pots and stuff, and it looks simple, but it's really hard. So I'd like to get better at that.
Right.
That's perfect right now. It'd probably be what it would be.
You got this nice, beautiful vase, and then you're like,
mine's falling apart.
It holds water, I guess, but it ain't pretty. Yeah, well, that's art, that's how it works. So. All right, what's something that you learned this week?
I learned, you could say, the game plan for Central Methodist. We put in a lot of stuff, tweaked a lot of things, so it was a bigger week of install, but I learned.
There you go. Hey, at least you learned something. You're supposed to learn something every day, right?
Yeah.
So he's learning. He's being a very good student athlete. All right. Who's been the most influential person in your life?
My mother, by far. She just always supported me in anything I do, and done everything for me. So definitely.
Sure. All right. What's one activity that absolutely terrifies you, and how much money would it take for you to actually do it?
I'm pretty scared of the ocean, just because it's so
vast,
big and mysterious.
Right.
Anything with diving or deep sea diving or swimming in the ocean really terrifies me. Yeah. So whenever I go to the ocean, I'm just sitting on the beach.
Right.
So the
2 feet in, I'm good. All that weird stuff.
So the deep sea dive would be, you'd have to pay me pretty handsomely to do that.
Yeah.
It's scary.
All right. And finally, if money were no object and you couldn't be a pro athlete, what would your dream job be?
I'd like to be the director of basketball operations for the Miami Heat or something like that. It's my favorite basketball team.
Sure.
And I'd still want to work in sports, so being able to kind of work, be the head of their day-to-day operations would be super cool.
Very cool. Alrighty. Well, thanks, Carl, for sitting down and answering actually what ended up being like 18 questions. So we lied a little bit, but anyway, again, Carl and the guys are going to be taking on Central Methodist tomorrow. So definitely come out to Lacey Complex Stadium, check them out, pick up win number 2, and start a very long winning streak. Hopefully that runs deep into December actually. So. All right. Well, best of luck, man. And we'll catch you tomorrow and watch you as the year goes on.
Sounds
all right.
good.
Thanks so much.
Yep.